pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the local spiritual assembly, the Baha'is of New Paltz, to our celebration of the Day of the Covenant. It is particularly a privilege for the Baha'is of the Hudson Valley to be celebrating the Day of the Covenant here at Lake Mohonk. In 1912, Abdul Baha, who is a central figure of the Baha'i faith, spoke in this very room. And the address that he gave will be the centerpiece for this afternoon's program. We're going to begin with prayers in various languages. In Spanish, Swedish, Hebrew, a chant in Farsi. It's not a chant. A prayer in Farsi, and English, and in Arabic.
Enseñar es aprender, aprender es trabajar, trabajar es servir y servir es amar, amar es morir, morir es vivir. Es esforzarse, esforzarse es levantarse por encima de todas las limitaciones que hay en la tierra y entonces llegar al reino eterno, al reino de amor y de paz.
Säg, Gud tillfredsställer allt över allting och ingenting i himlarna eller på jorden tillfredsställer utom Gud. Sannoliken, han är i sig själv den vetande, den stödjande, den allsmäktige.
This song is called B'Shem Hashem, and it's an invocation of the angels in Hebrew. Hashem, Hashem, Elohei Yisrael, B'yamini Michael, u'mismoli Gabriel, u'milvanai Uriel, me'achorai Raphael, me'haroshi, Shekhinah. This next song is called Rise, and it's a intentional song for unity on the earth. My brother's been shot down, my sister's been battered and used, and my child has been handed a gun. Mother is tired and confused, Daddy's got one foot in the grave. He's still crying over someone he couldn't save. I'm watching all this pain. You said it's just a game. We must rise now, stand upright. We will burn like candles in the night. We will learn to sing, not to fight unless it's for our freedom right. We will hold each other's hands, try hard to understand liberties I demand, for we are one people, one land. Some live a life of illusion, not knowing of another solution as we breathe in the deadly pollution. You know it's a shame. We must rise and stand upright. We will burn like candles in the night. We will learn to sing, not to fight unless it's for our freedom right. We will hold each other's hands, try hard to understand. Liberty is our demand. We are one people, one land. Yeah, oh. We must break these chains of gold. We've been slaves, enslaved, we've been sold. The lives, all the lies we would, all the lies. If we keep moving along, we can sing a new song. Oh, we must rise, stand upright. We will burn like candles in the night and learn to sing, not to fight unless it's for our freedom right. Hold each other's hands, try hard to understand. Liberties our demand, for we are one people, we are one land. One people, one people. My brother's been shot down, my sister's been battered and used, and my child has been handed a gun. Mother's tired and confused, daddy's going food in the grave. He's still crying over someone he couldn't save. I'm watching all this pain. You said it's just a game. No, no.
الله ابها این ناظر به وجه، توجه به ملکوت افهار و جبروت غیر اما کن و مناجات نما و بگو: ای پروردگار مهربان، ای پاک یزدان، این بنده ضعیف را در ظل کلمه رحمانیت مقر ده و این عبد حزین را در سایه شجره سرور مقر بخش. این بی نصیب را نصیبی عنایت کن و این بی بهره را بهره‌ای ببخش. از بحر عنایت قطره‌ای برسان و از نهر موهبت گوشه‌ای مبذول کن تا حیات تازه یابم و موهبت بی‌اندازه جویم. ای عبدالبها عباس.
السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى الله الصالحين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا مولانا مصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم. الحمد لله العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. لتعليم كي بدي في ذلك الذي يدخل اليتيم ولا يدخل المسكين فويل للمسلمين عن الصراط والساعة والإجراء والجنة إن ينام في ليلة القدر وما أدريك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من ألف سنة من الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر إلى فخر شديد إلى فيهم لا تسير بجد فليعبد رب البديع من يوم من الخير ولكل هم يأتي لما يأتي الذي جمع ماله وله ياسين أن ماله أخلاده كلا لا يبين في المتمكن ما تكمل نار الله المقدس التطلع ولا نفيد عليه مسرة في أماله ومدرة مسرة الفيل ما كتب سماه ربنا أتنا في الدنيا وسنة في الآخرة وسنة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم I'm gonna understand the English. I am pray everybody together. Everybody work together. Everybody put your hand together. I don't understand English. I talk to my language. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Bimbadama bimma bin kana kolon inshallah bin kana kolon bin ala kolon bin kana kolon bin kana don ka bin kolon inshallah wa sallallahu bin kana kolon khibar na kolon magi tala ka fitu ya kino mo nek di yari khalatin mo ko na masila sidna mo assalamu alaikum
and reveal to them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor, and grant them strength to serve thee. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor, and grant them strength to serve thee. Verily thou art their helper and their Lord.
hard act to follow, but I will do my best. So what is the Day of the Covenant? And who is this personage of Abdu'l-Baha that is near and dear to the hearts of the Baha'is? Abdu'l-Baha, the man who was in this room and whose talk he gave in this very room we're going to hear tonight. Before I do that, I wanted to share something personal. And that is the fact that I was watching CNN last night, which is, I don't know why I do, because it just depresses me. And there was the main story was about the famine that is beginning to happen in Zimbabwe. And how there's terrible food shortages, and that some children are even dropping out of school for the sole purpose of just finding food. That becomes their daily activity. Now, I have a sister who lives in Harare in Zimbabwe. She lives there with her husband. She has 3 daughters, and she just had a son under a year ago. So I have a personal investment in this country, thousands and thousands of miles away. And I thought about that because I had a feeling once I stood here and looked out on the audience that there would be a couple of hundred people who, even though the news and the world news really is depressing and can make things seem very grim, that I would look out on a couple of hundred faces and see people committed to love and unity. Or else, I imagine you wouldn't be here. I don't think anyone told you, hey, you want to go up to Mohonk? They're having something on intolerance, and maybe a fight will break out. It'll be very entertaining. I'm assuming everyone came here because they wanted to share in this day of unity. So, back to the covenant. A covenant is a promise or a pact between 2 parties. As Baha'is, we believe that this pact with God is that God will never leave his humanity alone. That God is always going to guide humanity in order to establish peace and justice for all of humanity. So, this principle is central. Not only do Baha'is accept all the prophets of all the other faiths, and even messengers that we don't know about who've come to all the indigenous peoples all over the world, but it's a central teaching to the Baha'i faith that there is one faith, God has been guiding us from time immemorial, and that Buddha, Christ, Moses, Muhammad, Zoroaster are all part of this covenant. So, Baha'u'llah is a prophet found in the Baha'i faith. His name translates from Arabic to the glory of God. The central teaching of Baha'u'llah's message and of the Baha'i faith is unity and oneness. From that, all the other principles revolve around. So, the equality of women and men, the elimination of all prejudices, all these revolve around this teaching of oneness and unity. And that today, the day we all live in, is the day that we have the potential to have one unified world. It's pretty powerful. We have the potential right now to have a harmonized, unified world. So Baha'is hope that we are trying to be a model of unity that the world sorely needs. And I know everyone in this room is one of those models of unity, and I'm sure you work as collectives and with other people as well. Now, it would be difficult to be a model of that unity if once Baha'u'llah passed, which he did in 1892, if the Baha'i faith suddenly broke off into thousands and thousands of sects. Because it would be hard to manifest that unity if we ourselves were disunified. So that brings me to the personage of Abdu'l-Baha, who is Baha'u'llah's son. And Abdu'l-Baha, the Baha'is call the center of the covenant. That is Baha'u'llah's promise to the Baha'is that we would have all we need to maintain our unity. So when Baha'u'llah passed, he passed
I guess you could say, the teachings, the message, his successorship to his son Abdu'l-Baha. And it's because of him that the Baha'i faith is still one faith. 6.5 million people all around the world are still able to maintain our unity. It is all because of Abdu'l-Baha. Now, Abdu'l-Baha was also called the exemplar because not only did he keep us unified with his teachings, but with his deeds. So, Abdu'l-Baha was actually invited here by Albert Smiley, largely because of his deeds and what he became renowned as. Because he had grain that he hid from the Arab army. And food was scarce. It was around 1912, before 1912, food was scarce. And in times where there's scarcity, people tended to jack up the price so that they could, make some money. Abdu'l-Baha fed the poor with the grain that he had amassed. And he became known for this. So Albert Smiley invited him to come for the peace and arbitration conferences he was having here, and asked him to speak on these principles that Abdu'l-Baha manifested in his actions. So that is the talk you're going to hear today. The talk that Abdu'l-Baha gave that kind of outlined, the Baha'i offering for a unified world. So we hope you find the talk enlightening, inspiring, and we hope that you find what the artists are sharing today will accentuate and embellish that talk. So we're going to move on to the talk right now. So I'd like to introduce Jeff and Nancy Ewan.